Hi, I'm Rose from Cheap Lazy Vegan, and on this episode of Eat Kindly with me, we'll be making 5 budget-friendly vegan snacks for under $1. So all of these snacks cost me less than $1 per serving to make. Obviously, there's gonna be some differences depending on where you live and how much groceries are, but I did try to pick ingredients that are pretty easy to find anywhere and also pretty affordable in most places. So hopefully that's helpful to you guys. And of course, very important to me is that these are very easy to make as well. And the most important thing, they are delicious. Very, very important. All right, let's get started. So the first recipe I'm gonna show you guys is a PB&J cookie. Yes, these are delicious. They are minimal in terms of ingredients. They're so easy to make. And this is gonna cost you, guys, for the entire thing that we're making, which yields about 12 to 13 cookies, this is gonna cost you 87 cents for this entire thing. So per cookie, this is like 7 cents. It's ridiculous. Let's get started.
So let's start by preheating our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And then in a medium-sized bowl, make sure you mash a banana nicely with a fork. We're gonna be using a ripe banana. And once you've mashed up the banana real good, we're gonna add in 1 cup of rolled oats. Now what I did was I actually ground up half a cup of the rolled oats in a food processor to make it into an oat flour, and then I just left the other half cup of rolled oats and I added that in there. That part is totally optional. You can just add in 1 cup of rolled oats, or you can be like me and just grind up half. It's totally up to you. Next, let's add in a 1/4 cup of peanut butter, and then those are the main ingredients. Yes, so far we've only used 3 ingredients, so that's pretty fantastic, and we're gonna take a nice fork and let's just mix this well. It might take a little patience, guys. It might be a little messy, but it's gonna be okay. We're gonna get through it. Let's mix it well. And once we have that nicely mixed, I like to take a tablespoon and I like to wet it with a bit of water in order to prevent the mixture from sticking. And I scoop out little tablespoons of the mixture onto a lined baking sheet. And then I like to take the back of the tablespoon, wet it with a bit of water once again, and make little indents on each cookie in the center of each cookie. Once that's finished, we can bake it in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 to 12 minutes. When the cookies first come out of the oven, I do like to let them cool for about 10 minutes or so. And then, of course, we can add the J. And of course, by the J, I mean jelly or jam. And in order to add this, I just take half a teaspoon, and then I just spoon half a teaspoon. I just said spoon way too many times, but I just scoop out half a teaspoon of jam. I use strawberry jam, but you can use whatever jam you want. And I just place it in the center of each cookie. And that is pretty much it. That's how simple it is, you guys. And honestly, adding that jam is a game changer. It's so delicious. And this is probably my favorite way to eat oatmeal now. So you're welcome. I hope you guys enjoy this. I think kids would love this if you have children. And if you are an adult child like me, you'll love these as well. And these store really well in the fridge. I just keep it in the fridge in a tightly sealed container for a few days, and I just have them as a snack throughout the days. And honestly, they are so good and so cute, and I hope you guys try these.
Second recipe I'm gonna show you guys is crispy potato pancakes. And my mom used to make this for me when I was young. It's a Korean recipe. It's kind of like a hash brown, but slightly different, and it's super delicious. So I would say that this recipe yields about 2 servings since we're talking snacks. And per serving, it cost me around 93 cents. Let's get started.
To start off, we are going to peel and chop 1 large potato and half a medium-sized onion. And don't worry about chopping it nicely because we're gonna throw everything in a food processor or a blender. Now, if you don't have a food processor or a blender, you could actually grate the potatoes and onions as well. It's gonna be a bit more time consuming, but that's also something you could do. In fact, I do think that's the traditional way of doing this, but because I'm lazy, we're gonna use a food processor. And once that's ground up nicely, we're gonna take a large bowl, and on top of the bowl, let's add a strainer and let's place that potato and onion mixture on top of that strainer. And basically we are straining that water out of the potato and onion mixture and into the bowl. So we want to let this sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. I like to kind of spread this mixture around so that we are straining out as much water as possible. And this part is totally optional and not for the faint-hearted, but I decided to add some chilies into our potato pancakes. So I'm just taking 1 red chili pepper and I'm just slicing it and seeding it. Is that the right terminology? I think so. But yes, we're gonna add this into the pancakes for a lovely kick and also for some decoration. But once again, this is completely optional. You do not have to do this. So after the 5 to 10 minutes, let's take the strainer off. And of course, we're gonna see that lovely liquid. And actually what you'll notice is that there is going to be a little bit of starch at the very bottom of the bowl as well. That's separate from the liquid. So what you wanna do is just pour out the liquid, but leave the starch. And then we're gonna add that potato mixture back into the bowl and mixing it with that little bit of starch. Now, I believe the reason for this is that it's gonna allow the potatoes to really come together a little bit more. Some people say it makes it crispier. I mean, I'm sure there's a few different reasons for it, but yes, apparently that's what you're supposed to do. And another completely optional ingredient, I decided to add some chopped green onions into the potato mixture as well. To season, all you need is a little salt, my friends. That's all you need. I'm gonna show you guys how to make a really easy dipping sauce after, so don't you worry. And now we're ready to cook. So let's take a nonstick pan and heat it up on medium-high heat. And we're gonna add about 1 tablespoon of oil. Now this is one of those recipes where you should not be shy about your oil because it's gonna make a big difference and it's gonna make your pancakes taste really yummy and really crispy. So don't be afraid to use oil in this recipe. And then I'm just going to scoop out maybe about 1/4 cup or 1/3 cup for each little pancake. And then I just flatten it out with a spatula and I allow this to cook on medium-high heat for about, 3 to 5 minutes. You just wanna keep an eye on it. Obviously the heat is different depending on the stove that you're using, so you don't want to burn it, but you do want it to be nice and crispy. So a little patience might be required. And while those potato pancakes are cooking up nicely and getting nice and crispy, if you are in the camp of adding a little fire to your potato pancakes, you can now add in those lovely chili slices. So I just like to place them on top of each pancake. And once you flip them over, and if you think that they could be cooked more, of course you can just flip them back and forth a few times until you get to your desired crispiness and brownness. And while your potato pancakes are cooking and doing their magic, we can make a really simple dipping sauce. So all you need is 1 tablespoon of soy sauce and 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar, or you can use white vinegar. White vinegar is a lot cheaper, so if you are budget conscious, definitely use white vinegar. It still tastes great no matter what. Mix that well, and honestly, you could just use that, but you could also add a little bit of green onions and also some sesame seeds. And there you go, there is a really simple dipping sauce. And that is how easy it is to make these crispy, delicious potato pancakes. And they are nice and crispy on the outside, but also soft in the inside. These are so good. Try these out, guys. I hope you like them.
The third recipe I'm gonna show you guys is buffalo chickpeas. So simple, but so delicious. So we are making some roasted chickpeas and seasoning them with buffalo sauce. So this is going to yield about 2 servings and it cost me around 53 cents per serving. So cheap. Let's get started.
First, let's preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and then let's take a lined baking sheet and we're gonna add 1 can of chickpeas onto your baking sheet. And then we can add 1 tablespoon of oil and mix this well. Now, if you want to remove the skins from the chickpeas, I would recommend rolling around the chickpeas with your fingers a little bit to allow the skins to gently fall off. If you wanted to do that, I would recommend doing that part before you add the oil, but I did it after the oil because, let's face it, I forgot. But it's not a big deal. So I do believe people remove the skins because it's supposed to make the chickpeas become a little bit crispier, which I do think it does make a bit of a difference. So it might be a step that's worth taking. So I'm just removing most of the skin. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I do like to remove as much as I can. So once you've removed the skins off the chickpeas and added the oil, we're gonna bake these at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 to 40 minutes or until your desired consistency of crispiness. Once you've baked it, you can actually add your favorite vegan buffalo sauce. I'm using Frank's hot sauce, which I think is delicious, and I added 2 tablespoons to begin with, and then I tossed it nicely so that everything is nicely coated, and then I put it back in the oven for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then I take it out and see if I like the taste, and if I want to add a little more, I can repeat the process, add 1 tablespoon more, and then put it back in the oven for another 2 minutes, and so on and so forth until you get to your desired flavor. And that is how easy it is to make buffalo chickpeas. These are so good. They are full of flavor, and of course, they are high in protein, so they make the perfect little snack.
Alright guys, so the fourth recipe I'm going to be showing you is a mini pizza recipe, and this is really fun because we're also going to be making my favorite thing in the world, which is tofu ricotta. I call this tofu ricotta, but basically it's just like a tofu spread, tofu cheese, whatever you want to call it, and this works really well on this recipe as well as lasagna, of course. And for this pizza recipe, it cost me around 81 cents per serving.
Let's start by making my absolute favorite thing in the world, tofu ricotta. So we're gonna take a food processor or a blender, and we are going to add in 1 block of firm or extra firm tofu. Next, add in 3 tablespoons of lemon juice or the juice of 1 lemon. Next, let's add in a 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast, 1 tablespoon of basil, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then we're just going to blend this until it is nice and smooth. It might take a little bit of patience, but trust me, you'll get there. And this is so good, you guys. Trust me. It's so simple, but it is delicious. Once we have that tofu cheese ready to go, we can now take an English muffin, and onto each half, we're gonna spread about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste or marinara sauce on top. And then on top, I'm just gonna add in little spoonfuls of the tofu cheese, which I think looks really cute. And of course, you can add other toppings as well. I just wanted to sprinkle on a little bit extra garlic powder and also add in some extra dry basil on top. I actually decided to add in some of those buffalo chickpeas on one of the pieces because I thought it would be really fun and cute, and it was delicious as well. And I simply bake these in the oven for 10 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. If you have one of those like toaster ovens, that would be super perfect, but you can use a regular oven as well. That works totally fine. And feel free, guys, to use other toppings, add anything else you wish, but this is how I made these little mini pizzas that are so adorable and delicious and make the perfect little snack. And just on a side note, that tofu ricotta recipe actually makes a really large batch, so feel free to keep it in the fridge in a tightly sealed container for a few days and eat it throughout the week. And yeah, enjoy it because it is delicious. I really hope you guys try it out.
And last but definitely not least, let's make a chocolate mug cake. This is not only so easy to make, but it's so delicious, and it's a little individual cake in a mug just for you. What's not to like? And not only that, this only cost me around 62 cents per serving. It's so good, you guys. Definitely give this a try. Let's get started.
So into a microwave safe mug, let's add in our dry ingredients. We are starting out with 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1.5 tablespoons of cocoa powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And then let's just give this a nice mix. And once we have those dry ingredients mixed very well, we can add our wet ingredients. And we're starting out with 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, and you can use agave nectar if you wish. Next, let's add in 2 to 3 teaspoons of vegetable oil. Now, I like to use a mild flavored vegetable oil, something like canola oil or sunflower oil. Next, you can add in 3 tablespoons of non-dairy milk. And if you want, you can also add in 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, but that part is optional. And then we're gonna mix this very, very well. Make sure you're getting the bottom, you're getting all the sides. Just be a little patient. Don't worry, we're gonna have cake soon, okay? It's gonna be fine. So just mix it well. Once you have that mixed very well, if you want to take a nice photo and you want this to look nice and neat and Instagram worthy, you can wipe down the mug a little bit on the sides to just get rid of the extra mess, but that's totally optional. You don't have to do that. And then now we can add in our vegan chocolate chips. I like to add them a little bit to the top, but you can of course mix it into the batter. I like to add about 1 to 2 tablespoons depending on how wild I'm feeling, okay? And then simply put this in the microwave for 30 to 40 seconds. I usually do 40 seconds, and this is how it turns out. It is so good, guys. It's so easy, and it's moist and delicious and chocolatey, and highly, highly, highly recommend trying this out, you guys. Trust me, it's so good, okay? Try this out. You'll definitely not regret it. Yeah, you are welcome. You are welcome, my friends.
So those were the 5 budget-friendly vegan snack ideas for under $1. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found this helpful. If you did enjoy it, of course, give this video a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to visit my channel, Cheap Lazy Vegan, for more easy and budget-friendly vegan recipes. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!